Good morning and welcome back to Lovin Dubai show where we take you through the top trending stories of what is happening in and around the city. I am Simran.
And I'm Shahir. Good morning, everyone.
And today's stories are Eid Al Fitr announced astronomically in the UAE.
And here's why Dubai-based Amir Khan is making headlines.
And people are calling out a Bloomberg article that says expats are priced out of Dubai.
And after a very short break, we're going to jump right into episode 10 of MS Talks, where Casey speaks to Muna on finding acceptance. This is our last episode of MS Talks.
No, that's really sad because I know so many friends of mine who watch it and get so much expertise and expert advice on so many topics, health-related topics.
Yeah, it's very candid and unfiltered and real and raw, and I think that's the best part of the show. Also, today, Maghrib is at 6:40, so just a heads up, in case you're wondering.
Exactly. Now, speaking of raw and unfiltered, I want to ask you, so I saw this content creator yesterday, and she posted something on social media about like France putting a ban on filters for models, influencers, content creators, bloggers, and just any social, like anyone who makes money out of social media.
It's about time.
Yeah. And it's very interesting, like something that was typically a fun thing, like filters, changed into something so toxic.
Yeah, you never really think about that. Filters, like even the dog filter on Snapchat, it was there to be fun, but then people start using it to cover up their flaws and feel less insecure about, I don't know, their nose, their tongue, whatever. But that's so true. Like, I've never really thought how far we've gone into using filters. To be honest, I don't that much. I like the aesthetic filters, but even to see, I don't know, I just think it's really
It's not just filters. Like what, okay, so in this specific scenario, what they mean is, okay, so should influencers be punished for hiding filters and body editing? Right now, this question is being debated in France. The country is looking at possibly passing a new law that changes influencer regulations in a big way and fining $32,000 and 2 years in jails to influencers who don't reveal that they have body morphed their pictures. So it's not just adding filters like the Paris and this and that. I don't think it's that. It's just like body morphing, going to Photoshop and just editing your features, making it slimmer, making it wider, like whatever. But it's just like if you have used one of these apps, you need to reveal it and say hashtag photoshopped, hashtag edited.
Yeah, whatever. I think that's completely justifiable. I'm shocked it took this long for this to happen. More places need to start implementing it. One good example I saw was Bethany Franklin. She used to be on Housewives and now she's a billionaire. And she posted all these photos of her, like a ton at a time. And then she was like, this was filtered, this was filtered, this was filtered. And she was trying to prove a point that, you know, like, why are we even doing it? Like, what's the benefit? And I think for someone of that stature to say something to the masses, someone that's so popular and so rich, like, even that is saying something. That's
so true. And that too with kids going more and more on social media. They're so impressionable. And for them to know, like, okay, this is Photoshop, this is, you know, edited and touched up, it gives them a reality check. If not, they have these unrealistic expectations, beauty standards. And it's, you know, it's really taking over, like, your orbit.
Yeah, for us, in a way, we grew up with it. So we know how it evolved into this monster, but young impressionable kids, they're coming into it seeing perfection at its max with, it doesn't even matter what body size, what features, whatever, kids are still going to see that and have unrealistic perspective as to what's out there.
So France, it's a move in the right direction.
100%.
I think 90%. 10% would debate otherwise.
Yeah, those 10% want the Paris filter on.
No, it's not the filter.
No, I know.
The morphing. But the Paris filter is the best thing that has happened to mankind.
That's just a little bump, you know? It's saying the lighting's too sharp, we're doing you a favor.
Yeah, it's for the lighting.
Yeah, exactly. It's making up for nature.
Yeah, honestly, like I would stop using social media if they remove the Paris filter.
See, this is exactly why France is doing what it's doing. It's people like you.
It's because of people like me. So So we'll jump into our first story now. This is great news for everyone involved. Now, Eid Al Fitr announced astronomically in the UAE. So after 30 days of fasting, Muslims all around the world celebrate Eid Al Fitr, translated as the Feast of the Fast Breaking. It commemorates the end of the holy month of Ramadan. Now, the Emirates Astronomy Society announced that the first full moon of Ramadan is on April 7th.
So the sighting of the full moon marks the first day of Eid Al Fitr on Friday, April 21st, astronomically. So UAE peeps will most likely enjoy a long weekend from Thursday, April 20th to Sunday, April 23rd.
It's just around the corner, you guys.
I'm so excited.
It is just literally like, what, a week away now? 10 days, 14 days?
It's a bit more than that. It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Let me just check the calendar.
Oh
yeah, it's 2 weeks away.
Literally.
And it's 2 short weeks that are going to pass like this. But I have to say, I just don't want these 2 weeks to pass.
Yeah, honestly. Why? The work hours?
Everything about Ramadan is just the best.
The air really is different.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've always felt this back home, but the house smells different during Eid. I have no idea why.
Oh.
But everyone just smells so like oody.
Yeah.
And there's happiness in the air.
You would think otherwise because people are fasting on the edge and just like snappy, because they're hungry.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's just so much more. I think once you get past the first couple of days, you're just in peace with it.
It's just that first day,
Yeah.
It's just that first. It really is. Everyone says it's that first day for them. And then after that, they're super cool, calm, and collected about it, and they make the most of it. And then as soon as you break your fast, like, you have this whole, like, nightlife of just, like, going out with your friends to the beach and having, like, dinners and snacks and just, like, making the most out of nighttime.
Yeah.
You enjoy nighttime more than you do typically.
Like, I am enjoying every single thing about Ramadan. I'm just like, these 2 weeks, I just want time to slow down.
Make the most of it.
Right?
It's insane how fast it passed by.
And just go like very slowly. But yeah, it's just these 2 weeks are gonna fly by.
I'm not ready.
Right? Not ready to go back to the normal life.
No.
Post Ramadan. It's Ramadan, Christmas, and that's it. It's like the 2 things to look forward to, right?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the same way people say that like Christmas has this like certain, not odor, but like scent or like aroma.
Yeah.
Eid has the same thing.
All about the vibes.
Moving on to our next story. So here's why Dubai-based Amir Khan is making headlines all around Dubai. So basically, boxing champion Amir Khan is making headlines for 2 separate occasions. Amir, along with his Amir Khan Foundation and Amar Shaf, have distributed 2,000 meals during Iftar across Dubai Investment Park and TCOM on the 9th day of Ramadan.
So on a separate note, news broke out about Amir Khan and the fact that he was banned for 2 years for doping violations, and he took to Instagram to clarify that the violation was not intentional, and hence the ban has been set for a 2-year period and not for 4.
Yeah, so let's just keep in mind it's Ramadan and it's a month of doing better, being better, and forgiveness. The whole fact that he was unaware with the whole doping situation, obviously lenience came with that and like being understanding came with that. But I just found out recently how the majority of athletes do go down that road and how it is very common for people to choose that, especially when they're more professional. So that wasn't like a shocker for me in general. But back to the Ramadan, it's amazing to see that he's also taking, like, he's one of the biggest boxers here, if not the biggest boxers here.
Of course, yeah.
And he's taking his status and stature to spread the word and just like be a part of the community and distribute meals and just put a smile on people's face, because a lot of people look up to him at the same time.
Exactly. And like you said, he is big in the community. He has so many followers and kids looking up to him and youngsters who want to get into the same profession. So it's a very interesting one. But honestly, like, all said and done, put in the past, like right now, what they're doing with Ramadan and just giving out so many meals to the needy, it is an excellent drive, and that you can see all the footage of that on our social media page. But we'll move on to our next story. People are calling out a Bloomberg article that says expats are priced out of Dubai. Now, this is quite an interesting article. So this was up on Bloomberg, I think just this week, in the beginning of this week, over the weekend. Yeah, and it's basically about an article that says Dubai expats are being priced out of living in Dubai and has been shot down by Twitterati. Now, the article says the influx of wealthy Russians and crypto millionaires has driven up the price of living and driven expats out. And while, yes, the property market has risen significantly over the recent years, the news that expats can no longer afford to live in Dubai is simply untrue. Now, the post was met with fake news criticism, and while people disagree on that fact, they also agree that Dubai is busier and prices have risen. The overall summary is not all that accurate.
So the article looks in particular at rents shooting up, private school fees rising, and the fact that the price of cabs are now comparable to New York City, which I definitely do not agree with. It compares the price of grocery shops in the UK to Dubai and say that the average price of villas in Dubai have shot up.
Now, people acknowledge prices are rising, and let us know in the comments as well. What do you think about this? Like, has living in Dubai become increasingly like unbearable, or is it something that's like it depends on the area, depends on the location, depends on the lifestyle, and in line with inflation? But that the UAE is a trailblazer, and a local citizen had hit back, stating that Dubai is busy as a bee. And yes, the number of people living in the city has risen, driven up prices, but this doesn't accurately sum up the feeling on the ground. And Dubai continues to be the land of opportunity where people can earn a good living, and affordable living is still a possibility.
So the government is transparent about its plans for the coming years, and residents back those plans, in fact. So expats are proud to call this their home, and many are finding opportunities to ensure that they stay here long term. And as rental prices have risen, more and more expats are purchasing homes here in Dubai, according to a Property Finder report in 2022.
So not only are people not leaving, but plans are also in motion to welcome new expats as part of Dubai's 2040 plan. The population will increase by the year 2040 from 3.3 million to 7.8 million. So all those plans and infrastructures for that is underway. However, that is the basic gist of it, right? So you have people debating both the sides, saying Dubai has become like unbearable in terms of expenses, and then people saying literally what we mentioned earlier, that it really depends on what your lifestyle is in the city.
I don't even think it comes down to a lifestyle thing. Like, of course, it's a factor, but we also had someone from Dubai Land Department come recently and did in fact say that it's not about more people coming in or more people from Russia coming in and starting their companies here. That's an insignificant part of the bigger picture. We also have to take in the fact that we were in COVID for the last few years and we're coming out of it. So the price of properties are going back to what they initially were. And then, of course, there's inflation. Every year, the price of goods and services do increase. But to compare the price of taxis here when you have Hala taxi to New York cabs, that's simply not true.
I mean, I see both the points, honestly. Like, I see people arguing over here and saying, like, things have gone up comparatively. And like you said, it's because of, I mean, obviously the aftermath of COVID-19. And if you compare, yesterday we were just speaking to our CEO, Rich, and he was saying how if you compare the prices in Dubai compared to other countries around the world, like it is horrible out there, like the US and the UK. Like you see the prices shooting up there, and people just like losing jobs left, right, and center. And in Dubai, like we mentioned, it's like the land of opportunities. People, like, the cost of living is increasing. However, the recruitment, the number of like job applications also increasing. Like people are recruiting more, so it's kind of a balance in a way, not that bad.
Yeah, I think we're just like going into a more
busier period.
Exactly, and it's all playing a role in each other. What I'm paying for rent here, I'm paying less than I did in London for my one bedroom here. I'm paying less than I did for a bedroom that I was sharing. Well, not a bedroom, an apartment that I was sharing with Alice in England. Yeah, so I'm paying probably 5K less for my own space, and that is really cheap.
I mean, yeah.
In like hindsight.
Yeah, for sure. And it really depends on the location. So if you're looking for something quite fancy and out in, like the Palm or Blue Waters or downtown, of course, prices in those prime areas will be like exorbitant. But if you look more into like the more affordable areas, like for example, Old Dubai, Dera, Karama, Nada,
Arjan,
and
Furjan,
this Arjan, Furjan, like looking this side. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the new properties that are coming up, the DAMAC properties. So it's just like, in this case, you really get the feel of like, okay, it is a mix. And it quite literally depends on your lifestyle.
For you personally, let's say in the last 6 months to a year, what have you noticed change that's impact you personally in your daily life or weekly or monthly?
Okay, so personally, you guys let us know as well if this has impacted you and what are your feelings on this in specific. Okay, but for me, it's like obviously the taxi fares, I would have to say, and like groceries, like you see the prices, but it goes up to a certain extent, like it goes up as per the index.
Yeah.
It's not like a huge inflation on, like, overnight it's just like, whoa, like that was 2 dirhams, now it's 10 dirhams. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, well, yeah.
And it's as per the index, and it's like happening all over the world. So it's like if you're complaining about Dubai and are you looking to move somewhere else? Have you seen the prices in other countries? It's
That's
just about
so true.
adjusting.
That's so true.
But one thing for sure is like we should see salary prices match up to the cost of living.
Yeah, agreed. Because that specific post that initiated this conversation, it was the price of living in London to Dubai, and the cost of renting is higher than the average salary. So like that doesn't match up. It's already hard enough for people to survive on the bare minimum elsewhere.
Exactly. So, I mean, like the whole conversation literally comes down to like employers. It comes down to, I mean, of course, not the whole conversation, but like a part of it comes down to just like when you recruit and like, what are you offering? Are you considering that, the cost of living has gone up? Accordingly, you need to remunerate like your employees and just match up to the bare minimum of the expenses that they have to incur in the city.
Yeah,
so,
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
Anyway, but guys, stay tuned.
Because right after a very short break, we're jumping into Casey's conversation with Muna, who is, she does a lot. Muna is actually very inspiring. She is member of the National MS Society and a transformational and personal growth coach. She also suffers from MS, and this episode is all about finding acceptance within yourself and learning to live basically a new life. So stay tuned for that and enjoy our last episode of Novartis MS Talks.
Hello and welcome back to MS Talks 2.0. Let's discuss facts. Back with us today is Mona Al-Harbi, MS patient advocate, member of the National MS Society and transformational and personal growth coach. If you've been following on throughout the series, you'll have heard her inspiring story of dealing with MS and the emotional roller coaster after receiving a life-changing diagnosis, not just for her, but for her family. Back today, we're following on from that story to talk about acceptance. Thank you so much, Mona, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So what are the stages you go through after receiving a life-changing diagnosis such as MS?
When a doctor tells you that you have such an illness like multiple sclerosis, it's like a shock that comes to you, especially in the beginning. If you don't know anything about this disease, you go through a roller coaster of emotions. You go through grief, you go through anger, you go through depression, denial, and you go through this process that you want to understand what is going on with your body. Will I have treatment? Will my life change? Do I need to leave my job? Can I get married? Can I have children? All these questions and all this comes at once, and all these feelings come at once. So these stages are, I think, many people with MS agree with me that they come in our thoughts in the beginning of the diagnosis and gets us in a level of confusion and takes us to maybe, if we can say, a bad place in our hearts and minds until we find the reach of acceptance.
Thank you. And as a personal coach, what are the stages towards getting acceptance?
Usually I tell the people who I coach, or even in my public speaking, there are 5 important stages that make you conclude or get to this acceptance. The first stage is awareness. You should be very aware about this illness, about your type of MS, about your body, listening to your body. All this comes under the umbrella of awareness. The second stage is perception. Like you need to look at your life differently, all your life aspects. You need to understand that this is a new chapter in your life. You need to be aware of that, and you need to change your perspective. How to you look to your social life, how you look to your body, how you look to your health, the things you eat, the people you deal with on a daily basis. The third stage is change. I encourage them to change everything in their life. To start small, like changing the route they go to work every day, and then slowly they change the other things that help them reach that acceptance stage. Before they reach the acceptance, the fourth stage is actions. They need to do some actions. They have to make some effort. Going through the process of finding acceptance needs to go through all these stages. Through action, it can take you to this level of acceptance and finding this acceptance that make you know how to live and understand how to live with MS.
It's a long journey, a difficult road, I have no doubt, but reaching acceptance, what are kind of the main challenges and obstacles that people face, and how can people overcome those? Some challenges were very common with me and other people with MS. It was like the depression part. The depression comes in many levels. It can be through anger, through isolation. You isolate yourself from the people that know you. People start looking, they think that you have changed towards them. But in real life, you have changed. MS has changed you inside and out. So they go through these phases. One of them, if we can mention like depression and anger and grief, it's all part of a process, including denial, by the way. Like people think that I'm because it's not visible or the symptoms are not visible, I'm fine, I'm doing fine, I don't need to change anything. This is part of the denial. So when they deal with depression or anger or grief or denial, each person take it differently. So once they are aware that they are going through these phases, and then they process it slowly and understand that it's a new chapter in their life, they can reach that level of acceptance. That's really great advice. And of course, you've already kind of touched on it, but with every disease, there can be good and bad days. So how can that impact reaching acceptance?
It's very important for the people with MS to take things slow. If you wake up today and you feel yourself like tired and the fatigue in a different level than yesterday, listen to your body. Take things slowly. You don't need to do everything and finish everything today. We all have a to-do list, and we're happy about finishing this to-do list. But give yourself a break and be gentle on yourself, and try to understand your MS and how you need to help yourself to live with this disease. The bad days, accept the bad days and tell yourself, today I'm having a bad MS day. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to avoid doing this. I'm going to avoid talking to that person, etc. And when you're having a good day, enjoy the good day. Go out, talk to friends, do some activities, enjoy the good day. It's about taking things slow and understanding the whole process as how to live with MS.
Simple advice, but it's so important. Let's talk a little bit about what the UAE has done for awareness of MS. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes, definitely. Here in the UAE, we have a very important society for MS that has been established in April 2022 actually. It's very recent, and it has a full support of the leadership in the UAE and a government support. It's the National MS Society, And I'm lucky to be a member of it. And this society's main vision and goal is to raise awareness and bring the MS community together and help people with MS to adjust to this disease and live with this disease, in addition to their families and the people surrounding them, and how to support them in all their life aspects.
So, well, let's say with this platform we have the opportunity to talk to people with MS. What advice, what support would you give to them today?
As I mentioned earlier, I would tell them take things slowly, process the acceptance. Nobody is accepting you. Nobody is expecting you to accept it right away. You can go through the grief, you can go through the depression, you can accept it slowly and go through the process, give yourself a break and try to understand it's a new chapter in your life. Now you're living a life that has multiple sclerosis. How would it be? How do you want it to be? How will you, if it was a painting, how will you paint it? So I would tell them, take it slow and paint the picture you want to see yourself living with MS.
And just very finally to finish off, do you think you've reached the stage of acceptance?
Yes, I'm happy to say that I've reached a level of acceptance with my MS that makes me see it as a blessing, actually. It's a blessing in my life. And I now in this stage and after all these years, I can't imagine my life without MS. Sometimes I sit with myself and imagine if I didn't have MS, where would I be? What will I be presenting? What will I be talking about? How would my life be? That's why my acceptance made me see MS as a blessing in my life.
I have no doubt that your words will inspire others watching today, so thank you so much for sharing that last piece of advice. Thank you so much, Mona. That was MS Talks 2.0. Let's discuss facts. Stay tuned for the next episode.